Hello and a warm welcome to the show. This is Pulse of Culture and I'm Justyna Steczkowska. Justyna Steczkowska, Poland's Eurovision hopeful, has just set off for Switzerland, where the 69th Eurovision Song Contest is about to unfold. This marks Justyna's second attempt at the contest. She will be performing her music tribute to Mother Nature, Gaia. She hopes her stunning vocals and stage presence will secure a spot on the podium and possibly Poland's first Eurovision win. Let's have a listen.
Ranisz moje serce ty, który moją miłość masz za nic. Naznaczyłeś sobą mnie, obudziłeś w samotności krzyk. Moje imię Gaia, jestem Bogiem, siłą moją, matką miłość. Kiedy płaczę do łzach, to nie świat.
Joining me in the studio is Eurovision and media specialist Shimon Stilmik, who will share his thoughts on Poland's chances at Eurovision this year. Hello and welcome, sir. Delighted to have you with us.
Hello, my pleasure.
So we've just heard a fragment of Gaia, and I wanted to ask you, how do you gauge Justyna's chances this year?
Well, at this moment it's very difficult to say, because every song, every artist, every entry has the same, let's say, chances to win the competition. After rehearsals, we'll see more, we'll give more chances, because sometimes this period before the contest, when rehearsals are going on, they may change a lot.
Mm-hmm. Of course. But I mean, we saw the energy, but I mean, Poland hasn't been doing too great when it comes to Eurovision performances. The last significant win was in 1994, right?
Is it win? Second place is
Second
not a
place,
win. The winner is only
well,
one
at
winner.
least it was the podium.
There was no Grand Prix, unfortunately for us, but we were in the top 10 3 times, and I really hope this year it will happen again. Because I think that the Polish people around the world, because it's not only European countries which may vote, it's also Australia and the rest of the world, may submit or cast a vote in a special application on a website. And I think that this estima, this charisma Justyna Steczkowska enjoys, she's so well known that everybody will really love her performance and give her more votes on 13th of May.
Mm-hmm. And about the performance itself, do you think that there are certain conditions, certain aspects that a song should have in order to be a likely winner?
Sometimes people say yes, and there is one, and sometimes people say there is nothing at all. We have this golden formula that here we have the composition of, first of all, a song, an artist, and the performance. And all together might really have be joined as well as get as small points as possible to win. So it's really difficult. Sometimes we have a ballad, sometimes we have rocky songs like Måneskin from Italy. You never know.
That is quite surprising, oftentimes indeed. And I wanted to ask you, why is Eurovision so significant, so popular, also here in Poland?
Well, first of all, it's not only the music competition. It's not only about the song. It's about everything. It's about countries, it's about the cultures, it's about the favorite artists or those who just started their career. This is TV show, and we have really a lot of things we can focus on. And I think that also points are so. I remember when I was a kid. When I was 9, I watched my first Eurovision Song Contest. It was 1984. And I remember this scoreboard and the points which were delivered by country. It was so emotional, and that's why probably I enjoyed the Eurovision since then till today.
Right, I mean, it is the second most watched TV show after sports, right? So,
indeed.
So it is quite interesting.
Olympic Games.
Here. And I wanted to ask you about voting. Let's zoom in on the voting, because the audiences vote. They can vote from any place around the world. How does it work?
Well, first of all, in the semi-finals, just televoting is in place, so only people can vote for songs. And in the final, it's a half of votes which are delivered by the public and half by the professional juries in each participating country. in the semi-final, because first of all, let's talk about 13th of May, people can vote in participant countries by voting by SMS or call, or out of these countries, especially in the rest of the world, those countries which don't participate in the competition, they may use application, official application, or they can go to the official website and read the instructions and to follow them and to vote, of course, for song number 2, Gaia.
So from any place in the world, one can vote. Well, I mean, Eurovision has been around for quite some time, and there has been a fair share of controversy around the show. How do you think it influences the image?
A lot. It's probably sometimes people say it's only about controversies because it gives more audience in every country, perhaps. I don't know. It's Eurovision Song Contest. It's not just a song contest. It's about our societies. You know, every artist has also his or her own views on different things around the world. Of course, now in these years, it's rather forbidden due to controversial things around the war in Gaza. So they cannot talk about it. But, well, this is very important for every human being, and that's why it's also controversial.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at Poland and past performances. Which ones were most outstanding? Do you think that, you know, someone missed their chance? Can we reminisce a little bit?
Well, first of all, everybody starts from the beginning. In 1994, Edyta Górniak performance and her second place with To Nie Ja. It was significant, and a lot of people say that it should win, actually, the competition. But we had a lot of good singers. Anna Maria Jopek, Katarzyna Kowalska, Justyna Steczkowska, her first start. All those songs were amazing. And I'm really glad that Justyna is coming back this year because, well, some people say she looks even better than 30 years ago. Her energy, her power, her vocal abilities are so amazing.
Right, and it's also an anniversary, right? Because she performed exactly 30 years ago, so the first time around. But also, speaking about Justyna, she revealed that she has some strategies, and even if she will not receive, you know, a place on the podium, for instance, she could pass it on to future performers. What tips do you think she may have for these people?
I think, I mean, we should ask Justyna Steczkowska herself about her strategy, because she's so, first of all, well-informed, well-prepared and conscious of all aspects of the Eurovision Song Contest that she doesn't need a spokesperson. If you ask her the question, should be the best person to answer. But I think, of course, I mean, once when I talked to her, she said that it's probably the last moment for her to be present there. You know, her position in the Polish music market is great, and being aware that Eurovision Song Contest gives such a big opportunity for also, I don't know, business opportunities.
And of course, the winning country, right, then gets to host the next Eurovision Song Contest. So that's very important from tourism standpoint, I would say, right?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not. I mean, the strategy of the host city must be clever, because it's not a cheap thing, believe me, with all this security, transport, accommodation aspects. City host must meet a lot of criteria concerning the ability of, I don't know, gathering so many people, to have the international airport around. You know, that's amazing, but I hope one day Poland will win, and then...
I'm sure we would be able to handle it. Okay, but what about the voting process? I mean, we discussed the audiences, but what about, you know, sort of countries in general? Because there has been some talk of certain countries bandwagoning.
It happens, you know. Well, you look at the, for instance, ex-Yugoslavia countries. I mean, this is actually one common big Balkan market. They know each other. A lot of artists are rather well known, and they sing similar type of music. So I think it gives more chances to vote. It's the same with, I don't know, Scandinavian market, where, you know, Denmark or Sweden vote for Norway, and Norway and Denmark vote for Finland, because they know each other very well and they are very close to each other. The funny thing is, if, for instance, I don't know, Greece gives its 12 points for Cyprus, some people from, I don't know, Ireland or UK are not happy with that fact. But they applaud when Ireland exchange points with the UK.
Right, because I mean, Ireland has the most wins, if I'm not mistaken.
Together with Sweden.
Sweden and Ireland, of course. So just, you know, looking at these countries, apart from, you know, strategies regarding voting, is there a common denominator when you look at the songs, the performers? You know, do they have their own style or way of performing?
You know, I'd mention the language. It's the key factor. That's why we change, as the European family, change the rules of the Eurovision Song Contest in 90s, when Ireland won consecutive 3 times the Eurovision Song Contest. Then later they won again, and the UK won. Of course, songs were sung in English. And they changed, the EBU, European Broadcasting Union, changed the rule. And of course, some other countries deliver their entries in English. Now I see, luckily, something different, which is coming back to the national languages. This is amazing. That's why I love the Eurovision Song Contest, you know, because of the diversity of languages. This is amazing, and I think that's why we are so interested in the Eurovision Song Contest, seeing not only different countries, different flags and singers, but also different types of language.
And my last question is, because we're running out of time, I wanted to remind our viewers how to vote so that we can wrap up with this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you vote in the participant countries, first of all, watch the Eurovision Song Contest, the semi-final #1, with the presence of our Justyna Steczkowska, and you will see the number of the telephone or SMS you can send and then support our entry. But if you live in Australia or, I don't know, in other countries in the world, you can always use the official application of the Eurovision Song Contest, or go to the official website of the Eurovision Song Contest, where all instructions are given, and you also can vote before the contest then for our song.
And of course, we're keeping our fingers crossed for Justyna. And with this, we're going to wrap up. Let's take another listen to Gaia.